Welcome to Thrones and Scones. It's your weekday morning podcast where we talk Game of Thrones over a little bit of breakfast. Tony, Hans, and Jeremy Thursdaying with you. Yes, it's a verb. Hitting season 6, episode 4, Book of the Stranger. And Pumpkin Raisin. Little stranger right there as well. Oh, welcome, guys. How are you feeling? How are you living? How are you hanging? I want answers to all three.
I'm living well.
Hanging left.
Hanging short. What was the other one? I'm doing good.
Good. Jeremy?
Yeah, so living well. It's
Good.
It's a nice day. Beautiful weather. Warming up. Hanging.
It's a bold claim.
hanging left. Slightly shifting. What was the other one?
There were just the three.
What was the one I missed? Living,
hanging, and doing, maybe?
Doing.
Doing it right.
Doing it right.
I mean, if you're shifting right now, I think you are doing it right.
I have constant reposition.
Oh, we're
It's always-
we
I'm
are.
actually sitting in this computer chair and just kind of leaned over the mic, so I'm less hanging and more just like smashed.
Are you wearing pants?
Yeah.
Wait, you guys do some pants on? No.
No, I do not have pants on. Are you kidding?
We are Skyping.
Yeah, but just from the shoulders up.
It's true.
No, yeah, I've got no pants on. I was hanging a bit too much a little bit earlier, right before we started recording. So tucked it, secured it into the hand. It ain't going nowhere. So it's hanging taut for me today. Guys, I've got a very, very brief, very quick plot for Book of the Stranger. Tell me how you want it. Order it up. You can have it scrambled, fried.
I don't know why I'm never prepared for this.
I was thinking since John is back, I like to hear little John this morning. Little John.
You want to hear me thoroughly disappoint with little Jon Snow?
I do.
All right. Give me some. Do we know some Jon Snow quotes that I can prep with? You know I got to have trigger words.
Ollie.
Ollie.
I'm not a damn poet.
missed you, boy.
I'm not a damn poet. What was the other thing he
When
said?
does he say that?
When he's talking to Sam about lovemaking on the wall.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Another time. All right.
Well, you can do Egret. you do
Yeah,
nothing.
Egret would be a good one.
Have we not done Egret?
I feel like we should
nothing,
have.
Jon Snow.
Yeah, do that one. We'll come back to John.
Jon Snow. Oh, all right. Rest in peace, Egret. Well, let's see. You know nothing.
I don't think she's gonna be able to rest in peace after this.
I'm a lady from Trolley-Lollyland. Best Egret quote. Don't think we ever touched on that. Great quote. All right. Season 6, episode 4, Book of the Stranger. No. God, no. Tyrion strikes a deal. No, this just went straight Scottish. Tyrion strikes a deal to get out of my swamp.
Is it Egret or Shrek? The ship repairman dude in Star Trek. I'm giving her all. God.
God.
Tyrion takes a deal. Tyrion's a hard word.
Yeah.
In
So,
Egret.
yeah.
How do you do the R? I don't know, man. Jorah and Dario undertake a difficult task. Jaime knows nothing and Cersei tries to improve their situation. That was probably worse than John would have been. I'm sorry for it.
Oh, God, no. It started out so good, though.
Book of the Stranger. I'm a lady from Trolley-Lollyland.
I feel like you nailed the quotes. The quotes sound good.
I can't translate it into... I'm a parrot. I can only give what you give me.
Yeah.
Understand? Oh, guys, Jeremy's talking a big game yesterday that it might be the best episode 3.
Yeah.
But I think like episode 4 is where we oftentimes start to fall away, and I'm saying this is a strong episode.
I thought this was good as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the strong. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's perfect, but it's good.
I think it ends really well. I think it. We talked about this, obviously. I'll go ahead and start. So, my favorite part is Danny. Again, did we... Surprise! Beebs are there. Danny, my girl, in Vostra.
His boobs muse.
Beebs. Super good. I actually like the entire scene. I like the build-up in the sense where you know that she's planning on how to get out of this situation instead of living in these with these other wives and kind of like this shelter forever. And then again, I like that Jorah and Dario are there as well. And Jorah is again bowing. You know, I think this is like the 3rd time he's been through this. And again, if he's seeing that much boobage, no duh, he wants that. I would want that.
You do want that.
Yeah. We clarified that.
I like the bit of subterfuge we get with Jorah and Dario making their way through the city, killing and hiding them guards, Hitman style, running into Danny, saying we need to leave, and she goes, "Oh, you know what? We'll never make it. It's too tough. I'll just conquer the city instead."
I like when in that part 2, Dario and Jorah are planning like right before they go and sneak in, and then Jorah's like, "No, we can't take weapons. Like, we'll if we get caught, we're surely dead," and all this stuff. And then he's like, "We got to give up our weapons." There's a whole point to that. We'll say we're traitors, everything. They get in there, and I kind of I like it, but I do think it's funny that they get in there and they say they're traitors, and then immediately they go, "No, you're not." And try
You're in full armor.
capture them. Immediately caught.
No, not the brightest. Oh well. It did work out for them. We do get Danny confirmation from the show that she is indeed fully fireproof.
Oh yeah.
Just in case you had any lingering doubts.
Super nice. Loved it.
It's not actually my favorite part of the episode, though. I'll be honest.
Not surprising.
I liked it.
You like something that has a little more substance.
A little more substance. Because we've been begging for it, and I don't think we've gotten it since season 1. Starks who leave reunite with each other.
Yeah.
That was a good moment.
Something that's never been seen in the show. Once they with the express what's the word that I want? Condition that like Catelyn goes to King's Landing that one time, sees Ned. I don't think we have another moment where parting Starks meet back up together, and finally we see it. And it's not just like Theon and Rickon. Like, no, we get actual A-list Starks meeting. And Sansa and Jon Snow.
Or it wasn't just Bran looking at Jon and going, "No, I can't see him."
No. The angst doesn't allow it. It's they see each other. I was reading was going back through and reading a recap of this from I forget who did it, Entertainment Weekly or something, and they were saying that it hasn't happened so much, and they've come so close. Like Arya and Sansa have basically been steps away from each other without knowing it. So have obviously Bran and Jon, and Jon was none the wiser there. The article, and I think it was Entertainment Weekly, Entertainment Tonight or something, said like, I was half expecting them to get like 2 feet away from each other, and a resurrected corpse of Ollie just shoots an arrow through Sansa's heart. Unexplained. Because it did just feel like we shouldn't get it, but we do. And it's a really cool moment, them talking, kind of going through the awkwardness that they never really liked each other, but now they're all they've got, and there's a really cool moment there.
Yeah,
almost.
I like that a lot.
Almost as good chemistry as maybe my favorite thing ever in the show, which is the budding romance between Tormund and Brienne.
It's so funny too. I just love the way they play it off too, because Tormund doesn't say anything to her. You just keep seeing him staring at her, and then these weird smiles.
These weird
it's
like.
so funny.
He loves her so. Did you guys I kind of want to save it for the conspiracy theory episode way down the road, but I almost think I'll forget it. Tell you what, we won't get into the conspiracy, but I want to tell it to you right now. And then you guys can be my sword, my shield. You can remind me when the time comes. Do you guys remember who Lyanna Mormont is? I don't know how far you are into the season, but have you met her?
I don't remember. No.
Lyanna Mormont is the little kid lord that Jon meets with. She's like 11 or something.
Something bear. They call her Little Bear or something like that.
Yeah, Bear Island.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So she's Lord Commander Mormont's niece or something. She's related to Jorah as well. But she's like basically the last of the line. She's running things at 11. There is a conspiracy theory that Tormund is her father, and that his story about having sex with a bear might be a little bit more metaphorical. And there is some stuff to substantiate that claim.
That's funny.
So I look forward to getting into that. But
she's kind
right
of
now,
she's kind of a badass in the show.
It's true,
right? I mean, like she speaks well for her age.
I mean, you know who else is a badass for their age? Robin Aaron.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys miss Robin Aaron of the Vale? He's back.
He's back.
I know we've been clamoring every day to get some more of him.
Not
He's
sword
tall
fighting.
now.
Now he has a bow. He's pretty good at that too.
How is he growing so much without the sweet, sweet nectar of his mother's teeth to sustain him?
He's grown like a foot since the last time I saw him.
Hans, what was your favorite moment of the show?
I think my favorite moment was the Dothraki scene. I think that's good. The only thing I think that moment's good, but I feel like we've kind of seen it before, right? She's kind of done this trick before, so
True.
It's still really good. It's a cool scene, especially when it pans out and you see like that huge army like surrounding it, and it's just a giant bonfire and everything. I thought that was a good scene. Thought it was a good setup.
I don't understand how tipping over oil prevents you from just walking around and going to the other side.
It's just a lot of fire, man. I don't know.
You know, like I don't know. I mean, I get everyone dies in there, but it just seems like the other side isn't burning. Why aren't people running out? Are the doors locked? I think they are.
Yeah. They locked the doors. Jorah and Dario. You see,
I couldn't remember that.
Yeah, when they first pan out of the building, there's two like dead guards, and then Jorah and Dario are kind of watching, and there's a log or something wedged
across
through
it.
the handles. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're locked in there.
Yeah, it is a badass moment. I think that overall it does slow down. Robin's my least favorite part of the episode. Littlefinger's still playing him like a fiddle. He's still a character I don't care about. Fine, I move on.
Yeah.
We do get a little Brienne confrontation with Davos and Melisandre that I kind of liked.
Yeah,
Brienne holding her head high, talking down to these guys a little bit and just openly letting them know that she was the one who did Stannis in.
Yeah, and she doesn't forget.
Yeah.
No. So I liked that. And then Cersei doing a more Cersei move, really trying to get underhanded and, trying to get one step ahead of things to the point where she would ally with people who she's been fighting against. I think this is much more in line with Cersei's character that they've set up than the whole start to this High Sparrow arc. So I think we're starting to see that make its way around.
Yeah, I didn't really care for much things in King's Landing. I mean, Marjorie,
I didn't mind Marjorie visiting Loras. I thought it was fine.
Yeah, but I'm saying, it's... Are you supposed to feel bad for Marjorie? Because I've never liked her.
Really? I like her. I don't have
Really?
any major issues with her.
She just seems to be another one of those... So this kind of goes to my question for Game of Thrones. As
a whole.
Yeah, in a whole. But we can go up to this episode. Right? So I would argue that we have so many strong female characters. Right?
Okay.
Hashtag feminism.
Okay.
Right? That's my thing.
That's your argument?
No. So my question is well, I mean, so do you think that is an overarching statement that is being made in Game of Thrones?
What?
That women are as capable as their male counterparts.
Do you mean do you think Game of Thrones is deliberately trying
I
to
think
make
Game
that
of Thrones
statement,
is deliberately trying to make that statement, and I support that statement. I feel like that Game of Thrones as a show is very pro female, showing strengths, showing outside. I mean, again, I can argue that we see major character development in female characters more than we do in men. I would say we see much more complex character development for them. I say we see them rule or take ownership of things much better than the men counterparts. And when in doubt, in an episode, you usually see a female character for one of the houses do something that's considered, maybe something they shouldn't do because they're a female, right?
I think I will give it to you 100% for next season, and for maybe the second half of this season. But I've never thought that I got that vibe before that. I mean, we've got great female characters, but I don't think if you're saying like they put special weight on them or anything to make them feel particularly important. I've never really got that vibe.
Yeah, because I feel like we get. I do agree that there's like definitely strong female characters. They're not omitting them, for sure.
Yeah,
they're putting plenty of stock in them. But I feel like we have a lot of times too. We have just as good male characters, with excellent development and stuff. So hard to say.
Yeah.
So maybe this will help. Who do you think are the best? Like, if you had to pick the top 3 or 4 characters in the show from a development standpoint.
Or just in general?
Cersei.
Cersei?
Yeah. I think she goes through a lot in this show. I think we learn a lot about her. She's evil. And we see her broke. And we think it gets bad. We see her rebound. We see her manipulate. She gets broken more. And where we're left off at the end of season 7 is, I think a profound miscalculation by her, but we don't know what that means, right? You mean like she's ostracized herself even more, but put herself in a position of power. So, she got what she wanted, but does that matter anymore?
Sure.
So, Arya.
Yeah. Okay.
I like Arya's arc. Sansa's arc has been good.
You think Sansa is one of the 4 best characters in the show?
No. I'm sorry. I should have probably stated that earlier. No, I don't. Dany, right? I think she is one of the top 4. Mm-hmm. You could argue Jaime should be in the top 4.
I would argue that Jaime should be in the top 4.
Jon
Who rapes his sister.
Jon. Yeah. So we could go Jon, Dany.
Yeah, I think my top 4 would pretty much be 50-50. So
Arya.
I think there's just so many characters that you're bound to have. You're bound. You could make an argument for a lot of social statements and things based off of individual characters, just because it's such a big show.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know if that's like their.
I just think that it does done such a good job at making strong female roles, and I think that's in a show that is this big and this. Has lasted this long. I think that's pretty impressive.
They're doing a great job of it.
They do
for sure.
So that's all.
Yeah,
that's all. I thought it was a good point. It just reminded me of that with this last episode. So I made a note of it, and I thought I'd bring it up.
Yeah, no, man, it's a good point. They do a good job. There are a lot of strong female characters. I think my top characters right now, from a development standpoint, and I think you're limited too, because the characters that died early, you just obviously didn't have the opportunity to be developed as further. Right. So I think you're kind of limited into who's left. But I would say Jaime is an excellent character from a development standpoint. Beside one significant blunder, I'd say Jon, obviously, Daenerys. I guess Arya, maybe. I think Arya's got some low points, like that are just kind of boring in the show. But I think from a character development standpoint, she does get very good.
I'm not sure Dany makes my top 4.
Really?
I like Dany as a character, but I've said it before, she's never been my favorite. And I do think the thing with Jorah is them actually going against this whole trying to make a strong character thing. Like, they're trying to kind of pull her down into this weird arc with Jorah that I don't like. It's just kind of it makes me fight her a little bit. I think that Tyrion has better
yeah, that was dumb.
development than
I don't
Dany.
know why. I don't know why I didn't think about Tyrion.
But I do like. I don't mean to say I don't like Dany. I do like Dany. I do like Sansa. And I think, we've set our problems with Sansa Stark from a development standpoint. She does develop a lot.
She has, yeah.
She does absolutely go
she's
through
a completely different person now.
Yeah, I don't like her through many of the early seasons, but yeah, she does get better.
The only other thing I think that happens in the episode that I made note of that we haven't touched on is, speaking of strong female characters, Tyrion uses some of them to pay off some slavers to make a deal in Marine. A deal that, what do you think? Dany going to be happy about this deal? Keeping slaves for 7 years to allow them to adjust?
Seems like a long time for adjustment.
It's a long time. Where were you 7 years ago?
Where was I 7 years ago?
Take you back to 2012. What were you up to? Do you want to go back?
Parents' basement, probably. Or maybe, I guess, college at that point. 2012.
2012. Oh, remember when we were all supposed to die?
Yeah, I do.
I do.
Oh, God, that was the dream.
That was the dream. I think, technically, we were supposed to have died a couple times in our lives already. Y2K.
Probably. Y2K.
2012.
2012. What's next? What's when are they thinking that climate change is gonna end it all? Like 2022?
Take us out? I don't know.
Probably. You guys, if you guys had to right now say what the end of the human race is, what is it?
Oh shit.
I think it's going to be...
Like what's going to happen or what year? What month?
No, not what year. What's going to happen to wipe out the humans?
I think hunger.
Because it's going to happen.
I think it's going to be a mass famine. I think with weather being the way it is, I think that we're not going to be able to grow and cultivate as much, and we won't be prepared for how quickly it happens.
I think that'll happen too, but you think that wipes out everyone?
I do.
Okay.
Because it'll start that way, and then wars will outbreak, and then subsequently they'll bomb the major cities, right? Because that's what we do. And I think all that science and technology will be lost because we won't be able to maintain it, and yeah, that's how it goes. And then we'll start all over.
I'm calling Dinosaur Asteroid Part 2.
Dinosaur Asteroid.
It's been too long. We're just prime, ready for the picking.
Oh, I think that would be my first choice, would be the asteroid. But just to not say the same thing,
Ebola.
I think that would be... I feel to wipe out everyone, though, is significant. That has to be something crazy.
Let me change mine. Mine is multi-drug resistant gonorrhea.
Multi-drug resistant gonorrhea.
Sure.
It's
STDs
coming.
did us in.
It's coming.
Yeah, infections typically it's so hard to spread from continent to continent, though, right? So it's so hard to get overseas. Once it's there, yeah, but
all it takes is one.
It would be so hard to get everybody. There's going to be people that are still isolated that aren't going to get this, and that would not take everybody out. It could take a huge chunk out. It would be like a near extinction level event. But I think I'm saying super gamma ray burst from a nearby supernova or something, because that's not something we could ever plan or expect. It'd just be boom. It'd be, what are the odds that gamma ray burst accidentally is aimed exactly at Earth, which is probably 0.00000 some ridiculous percentage. But hey, that percentage still exists, my friend. Aimed right at Earth, obliterates us.
True.
I think that there's probably even a greater chance that the human race is wiped out from the heartbreak of whatever the Game of Thrones finale will be.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you look forward to building up to the final days with us, we will be back tomorrow for some more action. But I do want to give you a quick recap on our scones portion of the day, which was pumpkin raisin.
Ooh.
Y'all, I made some maple pumpkin scones a while back. Had a half can of pumpkin in the fridge. Not a ton you can do with a half can of pumpkin. So I brought the scone making gauntlets out again. Grabbed me some rays. Got to it. Jeremy's not happy because they're circles. but they are
I'm
delicious.
pissed off because there's raisins in them at this point.
God's nectar, Jeremy.
God.
God.
God
made
God's
grapes so
constipated
lovely
stools.
and pure, and then a devout follower of his entire life knelt in a corner and he said, "God, I've been praying for years, and I've given my wife and my 3 children as sacrifices to your holy grace, and if you could just give me that sweet, sweet nectar of happiness." And he said, God did so lean down and whisper into this man's ear, and he said, "My child, dry your grapes." And the man did, and
Dry them
that
to those
little known
and taste like shit, and then you will know true happiness.
And then that man,
yeah,
his
that
final
man,
words
little known
were,
fact.
"No regrets."
No regrets. Are you down with GOT?
Yeah,
you know me.
Jeremy, did you hear that I got Hans to sing karaoke the other day?
No, enlighten me on what
In a bar with people.
Oh fuck!
So let me
Did
let
he
me
go
set
all
the
like
scene for
serious up there and lay some John Mayer down?
No, that would have been
you. Well,
sweet.
so we're at this bar. I went home. Hans also happened to come home. So we're in the same, not only state but city. It was a glorious occasion. And so my dad, my brother, and myself head out to the local watering hole, just a shitty little country bar, and meet up with a friend from high school. And then Hans is going to swing by. So Hans swings by. We're like a few drinks in. Hans is not. And we've already gotten a little karaoke on. We're like, Hans, you gonna sing, man? And he's like, "Oh no, I don't sing. I don't get up. I don't karaoke." And we're like, "All right, yeah, fair enough. We got you, but we're not gonna stop asking." And so the night goes on. We're like, "Oh, Hans, you wanna like sing with the group? You wanna sing with someone?" No, man. And I think our friend Johnny was the one who went like. Was like, "Oh, we got 5 people. We could all go up and do I Want It That Way." And Hans goes, "I mean, I'd sing some Backstreet Boys."
Obviously.
And and he was like, "As long as everyone is aware that there is one part and one part only in which I will be singing." And you nailed it.
I did. Well, I'll tell you. I said there's only one part that I'm going to sing, and it's just the "Tell Me Why's" up there. So then we're up there, and I can't really see the prompter thing or anything, so I'm just kind of waiting, and then Tony just like points the mic at me, so I just belted a "Tell Me Why," absolutely not in the right spot at all. And I said, Tony, I said, that's the only part I'm singing, and you aim the mic at me, that's what you're gonna get. So then the other part was I was joking too. I said the only reason I went up there, the only reason I would go up there is because I know no one in this bar. I don't know anyone in this bar. So then the second we are walking off the stage, from up on the balcony, all I heard is "Hans, yeah!" Like all these people who I know were up on this balcony, and I just hear this huge crowd just cheering or whatever. So
they were cheering, and we deserved all of those cheers.
Yeah. Although I at first I just figured it was fans of the show, fans of Game of Thrones, or fans of Thrones and Scones.
Whew, so many of them. Overwhelming.
Not fans of Game of Thrones, because I mean, really, who's even caught on to that at this point?
Yeah.
It's the dark horse.
We're hoping that this show can gain some traction for Game of Thrones. I think Hans had worked up that business plan that ideally,
we're pretty.
This will get some traction.
We're pretty underground right now.
Yeah. Because I know, like, we've got a lot of audience, we've got a lot of budget to work with, but Game of Thrones, they're still like, I mean, they're making that show for like pennies, basically.
I think so. Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Which is crazy.
Well, they keep changing actors out for characters. They can't keep them.
It's true. How many characters can Tom and Baratheon play? Find out next time.
Oh man, I watched The Umbrella Academy this weekend.
All of it?
All of it.
What'd you think? Hans, have you seen it?
I told you, I've seen like two like maybe 30 minutes total of the whole
Still
season.
not into it.
I've seen the end now, so I know how it ends.
Oh god, yeah, that's right.
That was like 20 minutes of the 30 that I've seen is just the very ending.
It loses a lot.
First I liked it, obviously. I mean, I watched, I was obsessed with it on Saturday. It was really good. It was so you haven't read the comic or the kind of the short story of it. It's not very long. So I was kind of interested to see how they were doing some of the things with explaining like the time travel and all that. I don't know the actress who plays kind of like the manager of like the suitcase people, but I love her, and I thought she's was like the best part of the show for me.
I can't think of her. The only thing that is coming to my mind is Mother, but her name is not Mother, right?
Yeah.
Is it?
No. I don't know what they call her.
Mother.
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 Yeah, but the
That's
other
the robot.
So of the six, I still think who was your favorite? Who did you like the most?
Klaus.
Yeah. Okay. Why?
Hell yeah. Well, I thought that, I'd like that they did a lot with him. I thought that Klaus was an interesting character from the point of view of, they brought him in just to kind of be this silly guy. And then you realize that, like, if there's anybody on this planet who is allowed to have a drug problem, it is the dude who can see, like, Sixth Sense would have been a very different movie had Haley Osment just discovered heroin.
Totally.
It would have turned into this. So I loved the fact that they kind of brought that like weird ambiguity into it, and that it's actually like he does the responsible thing a couple episodes where he's getting sober, but it's like it's the cliche of it really, because the thing is he's literally getting sober to save the world because he has to, and it's great. So I love the story that Klaus told, and then he's also really our only besides Vanya, he's our only growth as we see with Power in the show, and our only link to Ben, who I have a lot of conspiracy theories about.
Yeah, they don't really explain Ben's death, which I think is cool and good in a way, because and what I think is interesting is Ben is like the same age as Klaus now, and not like young Ben. So did he just die recently?
It's true. Yeah, we don't know exactly when he kicked the old bucket.
Right.
Who's to say?
Well, you see his dead body, though, right?
Do you?
I saw that. I thought he was up in the attic of the one dude's house.
What?
I saw one scene, and I have no idea who these people are, so I'm probably just throwing in randomness here.
Whoa.
But in the... Okay, so this is going to be very hard to explain because I don't know any of these characters.
As he knows like 3 seconds
So
of the
the
show.
chick that was originally that didn't have powers,
Vanya.
that got power, Vanya, okay? She had a boyfriend who was like
this
kid. I did see that he was like the kid that the dad, he always wanted, he was like obsessed with these people or something and wanted to be in the house, and then the dad told him that he was not special or something and get away. So then he was with Vanya at his house or something, maybe.
Oh, and then his weird little shrine thing.
The little, like, I don't know if it was Vanya's, like, spirit or something, or, like, some cinematic effect where they, like, pan up into the attic and you see a dead body and then you see the book. And you kind of learn that something's going on.
What? Oh. No. Okay.
But I may be wrong.
I got it. That's not Ben.
Okay.
That's shit. He's not even a real character. But he just basically killed someone to get them out of Vanya's way or something and hid their body. But it's not Ben.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember who that is, but I remember the scene now. My whole memory is fuddled about that because there's those 2 back-to-back episodes that are the same day.
Yeah.
Where they travel back in time and redo everything. It's crazy.
So number 5 is mine.
Okay.
I liked his entire story. I like that he's 13 or whatever, 15 again, and I love the stuff with the mannequin. It was both comical and also like heartbreaking. And then I still think I thought Hazel was a really cool character in the show.
Yeah.
But I don't understand Luther. Luther is someone who yes, he's super strong, and yeah, he goes through the transformation when they save his life, but he is clearly the most annoying character to me.
Yeah, I'm not super on board with him, but I kind of like where they're starting to go. Hans, by the way, I don't know if you've seen any of this in the episode, but with Luther, I mean, beyond Game of Thrones, this might be the next highest rated show to get a little incest action in it.
Oh, incest action? Luther, the gorilla guy? And his
the
sister?
gorilla guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... or implied action more than anything, I suppose. But
At least they're all adopted, so it's not like from the same mother-father thing.
my only real problem with Five's character is the end of the series when, obviously, spoilers, we've spoiled it already, that we're going to set up what is going to be season 2. Like, that's going to happen. There's already a book for it. So they all start traveling back and regressing to kids. And the thing that pissed me off was it would have been so easy to write in that either Five goes back to being an old man or goes 13 years back to being a baby. I would have loved it either way. So a baby with the mind of a 60-year-old man, or just a 60-year-old man with a bunch of 13-year-old kids. I would have settled for either, and we got neither, and I'm thoroughly unimpressed.
Yeah, I just thought it was I think Netflix is doing these are Netflix originals. Shows are clearly their strong point. Their movies less so. Though what was the one with the king,
The Lion King.
Elvis.
What? Elvis? Yes, it was. No. The one that has the guy from Star Trek in it, who plays like the last king or something like that. Maybe it was the last king. I don't know.
No clue.
Not sure.
Anyway, so that was a good movie. I enjoyed that one.
You guys watch Altered Carbon yet?
No, fuck.
No,
I should have watched that.
The amount of time I will have allotted to be able to watch to be able to watch anything but Game of Thrones once we're done with this, I'll be able to watch all the shows you want me to watch.
Yeah, it's worth it.
I'm gonna get a third job after this.